I'm Toast Strongman at Taranki Ramacharaka. Thank you for selecting this video on what happens to all the material here on my channel. The thought, not the actual videos, but the thought in them, the content. Where's it going to go? Long-term consideration. Before I continue, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, get with it. Do it now. Why? So you can activate the notification bell featuring be apprised of my new uploads. Share the joy of this channel with others. Now, by giving this video a thumb up right now, lest you can forget to do it later. Excuse me. I clear my throat a lot, and I apologize. But I will be doing that like I always do during this video. This material that I put here on my channel, including book narrations and narrations of texts I've written, and then my improvised monologues. All of it. It's been in the works in my life. Well, I can date it back to my age of 8. It's been in development. Some people in the comments under my videos have said, this is unique, this is one of a kind, this is a real thing, my God, whatever, this is powerful. It is. I know that. It's true. I think that it, as a whole set, and the parts of it that you don't know about yet, and you might not if it's just a YouTube thing, because there's a lot that's not said. Not that I'm holding back or that I have secrets. It's just that there's more to be said. All right. I think that all of that should last beyond my mortal years. Oh, there will still be a YouTube. Whether this channel will, how long this channel will remain on YouTube, and how long there will be a YouTube, how long there will be an internet, so forth. I don't know. But I want this thought, this thought, overall thought, and my practical instruction and so forth, to last, to still be available, to still exist, to be attainable by people, long after those YouTube, the videos themselves, the internet, are gone, if they're ever gone. Things come and go. Civilizations rise and fall. The human species, there have been, I'm trying to get to like the Atlantean race. The human race comes and goes. Right there, that's what I was looking for. The Atlanteans, the Lemurians before that, and whatever there were before those, I'm not sure. Humanity lives not only on this planet, but on others. Some pretty far away, I understand. It doesn't matter what our biological history is, our DNA history. It doesn't matter. But human races come and go. Just like the internet, it has come, it'll go. YouTube, it came, it conquered. It's still going and growing. But eventually it may wane away. And the content wane away. This material, though, this thought, I intended to last past this human race. As I've been instructed, there have always been a few who come to the head, of such thought, come to the fore as one round of humanity fades away and the next one arises. There have always been a few who have made the transition from one race, living in one race to being among the next, who have carried on wisdom, carried the torch, kept the flame burning, metaphorically speaking. What will be the thought along such lines that will carry over to the next one? What will it be? How often and how much, to what extent, do you find the human race learning from its mistakes? In the United States, we don't learn from our mistakes from one presidency to the next. Look at your individual life. You've made mistakes. You've learned things from them. But to what extent? How many such things have actually been consequential in the direction of your life? When you've made a mistake and learned from it, have you applied it? Have you applied what you've learned? You keep making the same mistakes over and over again? Or in the social world, what about you? Have you learned yet that the pool of people among which you can elect a president in the United States, have you learned yet that at the bottom of affairs, there's no big difference between the left and the right, the Democrats and the Republicans, that it's a charade? Really, it has turned into that. Its primary function now, its greatest effect seems to be along the lines of divide people and conquer them. Keep them arguing over a false dilemma, having to pick among, one among two things, when there are actually other options. So it's a dilemma, two things, and it's false. But how many have figured that out and acted on it? Huh? I'm not talking about politics here. I'm not talking about the country. My point is learning from our mistakes. What about one civilization followed by another? We've had a lot of civilizations now. How much have we learned from the mistakes of the ones before? Or how much have we just, not even noticed, not learned from, not given a hoot about, whatever, stuck in the same old condition day after day, week after week, year after year, millennia after millennia. Consider past civilizations, as well as some of those past races, given what the war is about. Why did they come to an end? What things were taking place when they just didn't fit in the cosmos anymore, in the physical plane of the cosmos anymore. They got worn out. They created the conditions for their own extinction. At the bottom of pretty much all of it has been sexual deviancy. I mean, in every case, one of the essential components of their demise, or causes for their demise, is like engagement in the black arts and rampant sexual deviancy. Carrying out the darkest and most forbidden and unnatural, turning things inside out, upside down, and backwards on themselves. It's been the case, as far as I can think of, every time. I'm getting at maybe changing the trend. You and I, with this thought, right? If not with it, then changing the trends in such a way that this thought, including this video, makes it through to the next race, so that it's possible to learn from mistakes, to learn from the mistakes of the previous race, to apply this thought then. And hey, we could gear this all up now, you see, you and I, to make it likely that the next race will learn from it. We could do that. We could do that. We could work it out, I mean, if we talk about it, figure it out. Given everything that we currently have here as our starting point. Now, I would think that if my material is so fantastic, so worthy of honorable mention, that if I were to propose a way to establish this domain of thought here, including all the material in this channel, if I proposed a way to make it last beyond the lifetime of YouTube and these videos, the internet, this race, and you could be part of making that happen, or opening the door, creating the circumstances from which it's possible to happen. What would you say if I were to propose such a thing to you, and you feel that it's all this wonderful and important? What would be your response? You probably want to know more. But here's what kind of baffles me now, guys. Listen to me. Follow my reasoning here. Follow what I'm seeing, what I'm getting out of that. All right. See if you can understand it, please. If not, maybe think, I'd get the same out of it. Right? Listen, I have proposed such a way. I have. Within the last, 4 months or so. And I've stated it numerous times here on this channel. And I created another channel just involving it, announcing it. It's the Newer Thought Group. There's a channel here called Newer Thought Group. It's the only one called that. It has 3 videos on it. It's there. And I think I put a video here on this channel referring people to it, talking about it, and I've referred some people to it in comments under videos here in this channel, people who I think might be interested in such a thing, might be, might find it of consequence, constructive consequence, that they were pointed in that direction. So far, in the Newer Thought Group, there are the formal members, number 3. Me, my wife, and somebody who, starting about 18 years ago, I think, or 15 years ago, he attributes all of the fantastic changes in his perceptions, his consciousness, in his life, with his wife and family. He attributes those things to me and the material on my channel. We've been in pretty close touch for that whole time. Still are. There are 3 of us. Everybody else I've mentioned it to, or pointed it out to, or made the news of it available to, soon I don't hear from them anymore. I point it out. I say, go look at those 3 videos. If you answer your questions, because that's all that's going to be publicly disclosed. Right there, that's it. It should be not enough. I don't even hear back from those people anymore. Now, I don't get it. It's all so wonderful and, should never be taken off YouTube. Left here for everybody. And, people will get it. It'll become more widespread. Maybe after you're dead, whatever, This is this shit. Well, and it might just be, at least for this stage in human development, for this age, might just be, right? It doesn't involve religion. It doesn't involve any specific spiritual path. It doesn't involve any specific church, organization, cult, order. A level of attainment, decree, hidden agenda, doesn't involve any of that. It's practical instruction in personal involvement, selfhood, and mastery of self by self, and movement away from consciousness hijacking and perception deception and ignorance. Practical instruction. Nothing magic. Nothing voodoo. Nothing druid. nothing Jewish, nothing like that. It's none of those things. Just practical instruction backed by coherent and consistent concepts that root in some basic operating principles of the cosmos. That's it. If it's all so wonderful, why, when I bring to somebody's awareness that there is a way for you or that person to join me and others in helping to preserve that and propagate it and evolve it. This thought for later generations, for later civilizations, and for later races. To give them at least a starting point. Why don't I hear back from such people? They just drop dead. Silence. Now what's wrong? I don't get that. I just don't get that. If it's all so wonderful, I keep making videos in which I suggest, with knowledge and experience, along these lines here, there's a responsibility to do something with it. Now, I guess most people here think, oh, there's all that stuff that other people can do, like work on behalf of humanity with this. But me, I have to clean up my own backyard first. This is my personal involvement. And what else can I do? My doing my work on myself affects everybody anyway. This is true. But if that becomes a reason or an excuse to not actually do something like what you're doing with yourself in the world, it's not a good reason for that. If you reincarnate somehow 1,000 years from now, what is the human race going to be like here, if there is one? What's that next one going to be like? Well, let's say you show up anytime along that whole timeline, even in the next race. Somehow, some speck of your soul, your karmic pattern, whatever, shows up later, and there's nothing like this to be found. How would you feel about yourself if you understood, if you realized, if you were aware that back here in 2024 on Earth, during the ascending Dwapara Yuga, you had the opportunity to change that, but you didn't. Because you were scared. Or because you thought you were unworthy. Or because you thought it was just a dead-end pursuit. Or because you thought it was a hoax. Or because you thought somebody just wanted to end up getting in your pocket. Some lame brain, weak ass thinking like that got in the way. How would you feel if you deprived yourself of this such wonderful thought and action? Huh? I'm saying so wonderful because that's what you guys tell me. I know the nature of it. I know what it is. Yeah, I know. But I'm talking about what you guys say about it. I came up with a way to open the door for this thought to evolve, stay always grounded in the way it is right now, but evolve as humanity evolves. There's only one way to make this happen. People with their ideas and their books and their articles and their videos rise and fall. Rise and fall. People may learn something from a video or say, that was wonderful, how touching, whatever. And then that's about it with them. I mean, if you watch 50,000 such videos in your life, what do you remember from any given one? Probably nothing from most of them. But you have developed a bit, but how much of it did you apply? Really? It was also wonderful. My point here, my immediate point is, it comes and goes. There must be a group of people. It can't be just one person like me doing what I can do. Like here, and then creating the Newer Thought Group. Those are the things I can do. What can you do? Well, you can become one of those people. It's a matter of choosing to, and then applying to me, answering a few questions. And if I determine your honesty and your genuineness about it all, like mine is, then you're accepted as a formal member of the group. And there are things that we can do with that. There are a lot of documents involved in the group already. It goes further than what all's here. And I intend the group, if not remaining, and just, like through generations and decades, and it really on into the next race of humanity. If the group doesn't last that long, at least record of it would, probably. And what the thought was, and it could be resurrected that way. There must be a group of people who carry it on. Not just one person. See, look, what would I do to have somebody like after my body dies? Who hangs on to this? Who keeps it going? Somebody I might appoint before I die? I've tried that. I've inquired. I've asked people to whether they'd be interested in that. It hasn't worked out. So while I'm alive, there needs to be a group of people that gets, people come into the group and then they die, but more people are in the group. It can propagate. It can remain. It can carry on. So I don't know why in the world I'm not hearing back from the people I've told about it to. They could have at least said, no, it's not for me. But no. They have to take the cowardly way out and just fall off the face of the earth. Maybe show up 6 months later, like it's all past and forgotten. It's not a deal. That was then. This is now. There's no reason to talk about it. But I would still have that question. Why haven't I heard from you? Why didn't you answer? Why didn't you reply? Why didn't you comment? Why didn't you say, yeah, I saw it. I went there. I looked at the channel. Newer Thought Group. I thought about it. Why didn't you say anything? Because consider what I'm thinking over here. What I'm feeling about it. I stuck my neck out. I created all the material on this channel. Even when books are narrated, I created the videos, the delivery, the articulation, the eye contact. I did it, right? I created all this. Now I created that. If this is so darn wonderful, what is there to hide from that, huh? I don't understand. I don't understand. I created that too. So that this can stay alive. So now I'm going to point it out to you again. And I don't want any of you running away from the channel because of it. I want you to think about it. The world needs help. Humanity needs help. The next race of humanity probably will need help. You need help. We need help. The world needs help. I'm giving you a way to help. What are you going to do? What are you going to do about it? Give this video a thumb up, subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell feature, and share the joy of this channel with others, at least. Thanks for selecting this video. I'm Turk Strawman at the Rhyme to Rhyme Be well.